Hello. Yes, I am here. Right. There's some music playing. Oh, it's TikTok. Okay, there we go. I was like, what is happening? I've got a TikTok now. Yay. Oh my goodness. What is this? How to turn any... Oh, what is that nasty box thing? Ooh, yuck, that is disgusting. I wonder if Poppy's put that on. I'm going to have a word with that. Hello, hi. Yes, sorry, I am functioning. I'm like, it was like 3-minute countdown, and then I was trying to multitask. And I think my brain is short-circuited out. Rihanna, hey. Hello, tune. Wait, what tune? Could you hear a tune? Was that coming through? There was something playing. Oh, do you mean the intro? I hope you mean the intro. Yeah, I've got a TikTok now because I'm cool. I'll link it if anyone else is on TikTok. I'm like 5 years late to the party, but there it is. The intro, okay. Whew. Oh man, alright, it's hot. I gotta take this hoodie off or I'm just gonna literally become a ginger puddle. Oh, is that Liam? I took my glasses off. I can't see anything. Cleaves! Liam is the PT. He is thy PT, thy bestower of pain and suffering and progress. Okay, right. Hello, hello. Poppy, on TikTok, what is that big turquoisey bubble that says how to turn any 3D object in a frame in Illustrator? Where did that like big green box thing come from? I need to show people what I'm talking about. And I need an answer because it looks shit and is unacceptable. What is this? That is the most ugly box I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a worse box than that. It's just a standard doodah. Okay, how do we get rid of that standard doodah? It's gotta go. That is just, it's horrific. Like, the only way that you, like, if I open up Illustrator to create a box that is on par with that disgusting disregard for design, I would have to do this. Okay, so we'll start. Oh, what we're doing? Got me pen. So we're gonna start like this. We're gonna rotate it around. Oh, hang on, my tablet's not even synced correctly. Oh, goodness me, Dan. The disarray this morning is terrible. There we go, right, okay. Screen. No, monitor 2. No, it's still slightly off. Okay, hang on, there we go. There you are. Right, okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so, you know, you could very easily kind of snap these together if they snap. Stroke type, you want it centered. Is my snapping even on? Illustrator, why aren't you snapping? That is not very helpful. Smart guides are on. All right, screw you, Illustrator. Screw you. I'm just going to zoom in. There you go. Right. So, simple, he says. So you could, you know, you could do this, and you could make a speech bubble. Oh my goodness. Right. And then we could round off the corners. And where was it? Screenshot. Oh, this thing. What the hell is that? Yeah, so something like that, and then I could combine these together. So that's kind of a normal speech bubble, like this. So what they've done, or I can't imagine Poppy would do this, but I don't know, is they like what? They've like made it droop down, but then made it bulge out and come back in. Like, it's not just me, is it? This is actually like horrific. I don't know how you... Yeah, like that. How do you screw up a speech bubble so badly? It's stressing me out. TikTok ski. Did you finish 20 designs in 30 days? Yeah, right. Okay, I'll show you that. Yeah, I did post it in the community, but I'm guessing a lot of people probably might not have seen it. Where are you? Yes, we'll show that in a sec after I've just ranted about this for another 5 seconds. Oh, thank you very much, Uma. Look, you get what you're given, or supply me with some cover art. Yeah, okay, how do we remove that? How do we move forward from here? Because that thing has to go. Even if we nuke the video and re-upload it, I can't look at that. That is going to drive me insane, having to look at that every day. It can't be done. I will do some artwork or something. It's just awful. I need to calm down. Oh no, I can't get over that. I'm sorry. Even if the corners were perfect, it would still be horrific. You know, yeah, the spacing's good, alignment's a little bit off, the color is not, no, just absolutely no. But the fact that the box itself is totally, this whole thing has been completely bastardized, especially on the left hand side. What is this? Tiny little corner, and then not even like a smooth curve. Inconsistent curves, you could get a pass with that. It's like it goes up and then down. Who did this? Like, the text and the font is the best part about it. The box itself is just, to say it's diabolical would be polite. Please, if you do boxes, never do them like this. Like whatever that thing is up there. And we could, you could round the corner, and once you've got this bit here at the bottom, you could use a direct selection tool to, well, not do that. Yeah, there we go. If you grab the right bit, you can move this around without kind of skewing things out of shape. Or perhaps we could select it with the direct selection tool, press S for the scale tool, click on this bit, and we should be able to scale that one bit up. Scale tool is so underrated. I didn't use that for years, and it would have made my life a lot easier. Don't crush Barney's design. Poppy, for this, I think I would break Barney's spirit, and I would feel okay about it. This is, as far as design goes, this is like a blasphemous level of offense to my eyes. Like, looking at that burdens my soul. And don't say gingers don't have souls, because we do. It's a common misconception. I will not leave Barney alone. Barney is getting hammered for this. So please, let this be a lesson to any aspiring designers or creatives. Please never do that. Unless you are going for fun, all-round fun, and then you might just, freehand the entire thing, and that's cool. That can be, you could do something quirky, and you could have a fun font. That is totally okay. Come on, Illustrator, redraw the damn line. All right, fine. Don't redraw the line. I'll just do it myself. That's one thing that Affinity has over Illustrator, is when you kind of try to redraw paths, it actually works. like consistently and reliably. And if you get caught, yeah, right, we've probably covered this before. If you get any weirdness like this and you're like, oh, what is this weird corner? Go into outline mode with Command or Control Y. It's usually, there's like something going on with anchor points. Something a bit weird. So that is a single anchor point. It might just need fixing, so we could try adding a point, or in this instance, if that is just a single anchor point, it's the angle of these lines meeting that's causing the weirdness. We could just round that off there, and that's not ideal. But if I bend this up to like a more acceptable angle, it kind of handles it a bit better. Yeah, so that could be kind of fun, and then you could get away with, you know, your Comic Sans, probably. Comic Sans. Funny. And then you could go and, like, I don't know, add like a flag or a wave, maybe a wave. Oh, that's kind of cool. Apply flag, make them different sizes. Oh, hello. Heard a cat then. Yeah, and you could kind of try and, I'm just making this up, you could try and slot haha into there. So there we go, there's a use for Comic Sans. And you could do something a bit more funny. Barney probably made it in Canva. Yeah, quite possibly. So this is where the design ended up. 20 years of design in 30 days. So if I grab the Illustrator file, I think I said to, I think it was Benjamin earlier on, the photo here did a lot of the heavy lifting. Being such a striking photo, but then actually being like very much in focus here, and then blurring out up here and down here lends itself really nicely to adding text. Having text against a blurred background is really good because it just makes it easier to read out then. And yeah, this does a lot of the heavy lifting, but it was hopefully interesting if you joined yesterday's stream, seeing the progression of the type. So we started doing kind of working on the type in Illustrator and then just took it into Photoshop. But if you missed it, this is kind of, these are the iterations that we went through. So lots of little tweaks to try and pull out certain words, and it's just always going to be way more visually interesting than just that. You know, that's where it started. Just dunk, dunk, dunk. So if you can do something like this with your graphics, with typography, and you get words that you can interlock and just present in a slightly more interesting way, it can look a lot more visually interesting than just slapping it on there. And also in terms of the colors, you know, this has a very clear color theme. I think one of the main changes that I did a few different versions after the stream, so we played around with the laptop. I think this design here, having the angle and perspective of the laptop and the italic already in there, made it go a bit weird. I probably would have changed the text and made it non-italic, because then I feel like it's just not working for me with the perspective of the photo as well and the angle of the laptop. But with this one, I think the main change that people might not have seen is I just made that pink and then bolded and italicized a few keywords. So that's kind of the takeaway. And thank you to everyone who signed up. I've had quite a few people sign up already. I'm running this as like a paid ad on Facebook and Instagram, just to see if it's something that people are interested in, and a lot of people are signing up to it. So it's quite well, it's interesting and it's fun as well. WhatsApp Dansky. Is that WhatsApp or WhatsApp?
Sorry,
Hello.
I'm making some popcorn.
You're making popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, what, for the boys?
Yeah.
Nice. Fun fact, Comic Sans is actually more legible than other fonts to choose with dyslexia. Is it actually? Hello from New Zealand, you beast. Art graphic design. Hi Dansky. I think I add stroke effect. What, for this one? I wouldn't add it because it doesn't need it. So we could go. You could go and add it like as a stylistic choice if you wanted to. Oh my god, I can hear the popping. I can hear the popping. But the strokes can look a bit crap sometimes. This is something I really don't like. I absolutely, personally hate this. You see here? The way that the strokes connect with the E and the S is nice, but then you get these weird gaps. So that is popcorn in the background. Oh my goodness, it's going crazy. Do I get popcorn? Actually, no. Liam, are you still on the stream? If he's still on the stream, you won't be able to feed me popcorn. Yeah, I wouldn't even do it on the. You could do. Let's try it. Let's try it. But then if I add a stroke on the 20, it's going to throw off all the alignment because look, the stroke's going to be chunkier. If I just pick a different color for now. The stroke's now chunkier, so it throws off the alignment. You could then correct that by saying, okay, I'll do an inside stroke. Never do an inside stroke on text. It's awful. Because look, as soon as you start doing this, it throws off the actual lettering typographically. You see here? It suddenly starts rounding off corners in weird places, so actually the inside stroke will start to gradually butcher the typography, which is, you know, and you end up with something like that, which is just horrific. So I rarely use strokes on lettering, unless it's like intentional. You know, you might have like a multi-layered stroke, you might have it as like an offset or something. So it makes the text look a bit more 3D. But let's go back to outside. And I shouldn't say never, because you know, it can sometimes work. But I personally I do not like light strokes on something like dark text, for example. It just doesn't look good. Unless perhaps you were to do something like this. So we can make the white one just a little bit thinner. I'm not sure what the word is. Is it trepidation? Like to move cautiously, perhaps? You know, you could do something like this. Or maybe it's a personal thing. Just a straight white stroke with like on a color. Oh yeah, and that just looks, that doesn't look good. I think you get away with it more with chunkier fonts as well. Like if I made this super chunky, what's the max? Extra bold. I feel like you get away with that more, whereas with a thin font, so let's go for light. Oh, it just looks disgusting. Oh, I don't like it. Or do I? I don't know. Oh yeah. I feel like that's a little bit Marmite. What do you think? Do you think that looks horrific, or is it just me? Everyone gets popcorn. Electric lightning overlays. I did try putting some particles and I had a sparkler effect. Where is it? On the end of the pen, but I think it just looked a bit crap. And it just created this kind of burst of light, which is ultimately just distracting. I want people to focus on the text and the messaging. So there are certain uses for blending modes that I use when I need something to stand out. You could add a drop shadow here, to be fair. You might say, oh, this text is a bit thin, I want that to be even more legible. But with drop shadows, like, let's just do a do this, don't do that. You could do that, but I think it looks a bit harsh, so I would either drop the opacity down, just make it a bit more subtle, or you could change the color to a darker color of the background and set the color to normal, so you've kind of got like a really nice purpley on purple color. Or what I personally like to do is you can make it softer. So we'll kind of soften it, push it out a little bit, so it's not just kind of no distance, and it will kind of add like this glow. Good if you want to add a glow around the text, but if you want to lift it off the page slightly, I would push it out, get the softness nice and subtle, and then at the last step just bring that opacity down. And if I do the before and the after, that's actually no, here I'll turn it off and on. So that's without, that's with. You could get away with that and it just lifts it off the page a bit more. It's not something I do a ton, if I'm honest, but if I were to go and apply it to all of this, oh yeah, I mean, I don't think it looks as clean personally, but sometimes a subtle shadow, even if it's like 20%, especially if you've got a busy background, actually. If you've got a busy background, if I were to move this up, so my hand in focus is like behind the text, without something to lift it off, it can be harder to read. So sometimes that shadow does serve that kind of purpose of just making things easier to read. But if you've got a good amount of contrast here, and I mean, you know, Rianne, thoughts on the contrast here from an accessibility perspective? I think the pink is probably, I need to go back a little bit. There we go. Let's get it back to that. The white, definitely good. Pink, the pink's pretty good, I think, because we've got that dark background. But if I needed to make that darker, it's super easy. So if you do find that your text isn't standing out and you want to keep it like this, what you can do is just add a levels, curves, or adjustment layer, darken it down a ton, invert the mask, and then we're going to grab a nice soft brush. We'll drop the flow down to 10%, and then I'm just going to start to brush in. There we go, nice and gently like that. Maybe down there a little bit as well. And then you could turn it off and on. This is a really good technique to just boost contrast, make text more legible. If you've got a busy background behind, so you're not fortunate enough to have the blur there, which does happen a lot, this technique of darkening the area either behind or around the text is the kind of thing you won't really notice, because you'll be focusing on the lettering. So if you were to darken and just brush in around this bit here with a busy background, you won't notice it as much. And it's a clever little trick to make the text stand out without relying on, you know, drop shadows and strokes and things. How about adding drop shadow for the numbers only? No, I wouldn't do that personally. You could do. I probably wouldn't. Right, okay, and this is another accessibility thing in terms of contrast. You know, this pink and this purple, they don't have as much contrast as the white and the purple, for example. So if I add a soft, fluffy shadow there, I was going to say I think it would make it harder to actually stand out, but it probably doesn't actually. No, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, actually. I was going to say it might make it harder. I was worried that the pink and the purple might end up blurring a bit too much, but it doesn't actually. It's not too bad. I could get away with it because I'm treating the pink text, I'm going to call it pink, different to the white text. So you could, I suppose you could do that, and you could style it slightly differently, just because you're treating it differently anyway, as long as it doesn't bugger up like the alignment. So when I added the stroke before, it chunked up the text, it ruined the type. So yeah, I suppose you could do that if you wanted to add a subtle drop shadow. I think if it was like super pronounced, it would just look a bit weird. And if I did it just for the 20 years, I'd be like, well, why not the of? That is the same font. And then what about this text? It's the same as this. So I would be looking at like similar text sizes and text styles and thinking, well, why am I just putting the drop shadow here and not that word on the end? Do you know what I mean? Scott McCann, meme type. Oh, hugs from Brazil. Oh, thank you, Sammy. Hey, Elaine, how you doing? Loving the pink. It kind of, yeah, it did fit quite well with the, I think in the studio, the lights, where's the original image? They were like pink and like a cyany color. So this is the original image. So this is kind of cool actually. Yeah. So I had monitor and cables. I couldn't get rid of that, so I generative filled that, and it just added a window, blurred, which is great. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll add a window there. Over here, I've got my shelf that you can sort of see, but kind of not as well. I think I blurred this myself using field blur in the blur gallery. So I blurred everything around here except my hand. That light was distracting. And I mean, this is insane. Slightly changed the artwork on my arm, and made it a bit thinner. As you can see, my forearm is a little bit more muscular than that. Maybe I should warp that. But I mean, look at that with the arm hair. Is that not freaking insane? It matched the lighting, it drew me new arm hair, and even tweaked the t-shirt and kept it insane. That is useful. I can't deny. Muscle ski. Yeah. That thick arm. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But whatever. So even those little changes. And then I added this light glow coming from the screen, and then I used generative expand to just fill it a bit more. So I had a bit more of an extension top and bottom. As a colorblind person, I'd say it's not a good contrast in the 20 years. Okay, interesting. I haven't tested it, no. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. These small ones down here. Yeah, maybe they could do with being larger then. But yeah, if you wanted to create like this this glow effect coming from the laptop, what I did was just add a solid color adjustment layer and pick like a pink glow. Add a layer mask, invert it, and then grab that lovely soft brush with like 10% opacity. You could just brush it manually now. What I did was I actually added like a cone of light that I wanted. So I'm just making like a really quick selection here. And then I've got that 10% flow, and I'm just going to start brushing it in nice and big, and then a bit more concentrated down the bottom. So you end up with something like that. And obviously that looks utterly terrible. But here's the magic. If you open the, whoops, no, not that. Select the layer mask and open up the properties panel, and you can feather the mask. You can soften it to try and get the desired amount of blur. And we could keep it a bit harder, so we kind of get a bit more definition of the glow. And then what we could do is use black and just soften the edges manually. So I'm just gonna brush around the edge. So we're still keeping a little bit of the definition. So not too much. And you could add some more up there if you want, or like make it super intense down here. And then because I'm brushing this as a solid color on top of the hand, you know, you're ruining the color of the hand effectively. So to get a realistic blend, what I would do is pick a blending mode. So linear dodge or screen. Screen retains the skin colors of my hand a bit more. So before, after. That's a really quick and easy way to just add like a light glow coming off of something. Cheers, Gaurav. Yeah, it kind of came together quite nicely in the nearly 2-hour stream. Tut tut, Dan. Wags finger. Yeah, for sure. You could use Gaussian blur. In fact, actually, yeah, if I go back a step, there's an entirely different technique. I'm pretty sure you can apply this to a mask. Nope, you can't. Okay. So let's convert the adjustment layer to a smart object, rasterize it, and we should have that as just like a block of pink now. And then if I convert it back to a smart object, I can go filter, blur, gallery, and use like tilt shift. This is a really cool way of doing it. So we'll set the blur nice and high. So I'll control that start point and then drag up how quickly how aggressively I would like it to blur things. So you could do something like that. And then manually, you could either manually add more blur to the bottom, or we could just remove it with the brush tool, and you get that like gradual blur going from like sharper to more blurred up there. And then of course the blending mode, the secret sauce, and then we could adjust the shape, so make it kind of taller and thinner. Yeah, so a few different ways that you could do it, but yeah, it kind of came together all right in the end. Hey Alana, how's it going? How's it going since yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before? You were up till like 3, 4, 5 a.m?
The day before, yeah.
I think it was the day before, yeah. Hardcore. I think that's the thing with Photoshop as well. I was going to segue into the course then, but I'm not going to. It's too soon. It's too early. That's one of the things that I love about Photoshop, and I also is really difficult if you're learning it, is there's like 20 different ways to do the same thing. So, you know, you might, if you said to me, how do you make that light glow effect? There's loads of different ways I could show you. Oftentimes there's one way that's easier and gives a better result. So that is one thing that I'm glad that I've got quite a few years of experience, well, 20, doing this, because I've tried lots of different ways. And now it's like, okay, what technique would you use, Dan? You know, there's all these different ways of doing the same thing, but what's the best one? What's the easiest, best one that gives you the most flexibility and the best result? So it's kind of nice to, it's fun to like play around and show different ones, but it's also nice to be able to go, this is the one you want. Do it like this, sunshine. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that was fun. Right, we need to do another competition as well, and I have questions. So I think before we talked about doing a UI design competition. So designing something. Oh, I had a cat. Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to cuddle him or he's not gonna stop. Oh then. Little special cat, aren't you? Come on, here we go. yeah, so UI design. I feel like that would be really cool. We've not really done a lot of UI design stuff yet, and there's quite a lot of apps that you could do it in. You could do it in Adobe XD, Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, Affinity, you know, pretty much anything. And we've not really touched on UI yet, and that was what I did for most of my career with my freelance business and my job. So, or web and UI, a bit of both. So it'd be really nice to, for me personally, to do something like that. And the idea I had was to design the user interface for a game or a game screen. So this could be like a mobile game, it could be a game on console, it could be one of those playable games on TV or Netflix or whatever, or a PC game. So not just like video games, it could be mobile phone games or whatever. And I feel like that's quite cool because you could do some, well, there's a multitude, an infinite number of different styles you could do. You could do like one of those cutesy mobile games with, you know, UI elements that have lots of character. You could do something very, very serious, like a strategy game on PC. So I feel like there's a lot of flexibility in terms of the style that we could go for. What is this cat? This cat is just, what is he doing? He's just like, oh. So, how does that sound, first of all?
Sounds fun. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Look at that paw. He's a donut. This cat is an absolute donut. Look at him. Look at him. Upside down cat twerking. Demonetized. He said the word twerk. I haven't worked enough on UI yet. Excellent. That's exactly why you should do it. We could even do some streams on UI as well, because I've not done it for a long time. And I kind of miss it, to be honest. One thing I'm not sure about is how to handle the imagery side of it. So I think, what was it, for the Halloween competition, obviously we had pictures of me and it was like you have to use one of these pictures. I've got a lot more pictures of poses and things, so we could I thought you had long ass fingers. Yeah, these are my fingers. My floofy fingers. So love that word. Floofy. So we can yeah, no, I don't actually have fingers. I have paws instead. Fun fact. I'm half cat.
Stop getting distracted.
Sorry, it's the cat's bloody feet flying all over the place. I swear his brain is like, why am I upside down? Am I falling? You are adorable, aren't you? You are pathetic and adorable at the same time. I know. I will never leave you.
Someone called Marek has just shared watching you on the story.
Oh, nice. Marek. So, I totally forgot what I was saying. But yeah, UI would be really interesting because there's so many different styles. But we've got photos of me, or people could do their own photos and grab your own images or whatever. The only other thing I was thinking is you could do, obviously, the UI design all yourself, and then we could allow AI to generate like characters and things. But the problem with when you open up the door to AI, it gets there's a lot of grey in between. You know, you could say, oh yeah, let's allow AI to generate like video game characters as stock images, and then you could retouch them in. But then some people might use the AI to generate the entire background, and which includes part of the UI. So it's kind of a door that I'm very hesitant to open. Yeah, Alana, we do regular competitions, one every like 2 months. I love the pairing going through the mic. Dansky and Katsky. Aww. No. Big baby, aren't you? Could anyone give me advice how to do a cool portfolio and keep it under 10 megabytes? Ugh, under 10 megabytes? No, absolutely not. Well, no. To be fair, you could do that. You could. Sorry, that was like a gut reaction then. You could save your graphics as a JPEG. Wait, what? Why is my file menu gimped? Where's all my options?
What?
Oh my god! Are you seeing this? What?
There's got to be something that goes wrong.
No, my menus have broken.
Oh, no.
Some of them don't even have anything. This is amazing. Oh, this is excellent. Wow. I think I can't even quit Photoshop. Okay, hang on. Oh wait, no. No, I'm being an idiot. I opened up Camera Raw somehow, and it was on the other monitor. Oh, I got excited then. Never mind. You're done for today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so file, save as. JPEG is probably your best bet because you can compress the file size. And then what I would do is I would probably go for 8. 12 is the difference between 12 and 10 is so negligible, but the file size is quite different, especially if it's high res stuff. 8 is still decent. So, I mean, if I'll do this at 12, and then I'll do it at 8, and I'll just see what the file size comes out at. 8. Because I do this for some of my website graphics. Sorry, Cap. You've got to go. Right. Okay, so maximum quality, that was 601 kilobytes. At 8 quality, it was 184. So it's literally a third of the size. And if I open both of these up, I'm going to wager they look pretty similar. You know? Yeah, if file size under 10 megabytes is your goal, this is how you're going to achieve it. Yeah, if you start to zoom in, you can see some artifacting on the lettering and around the edge. But it's pretty negligible, and I got to be honest, I'm looking at this zoomed in on a 32-inch screen or some crap. So 8 would be a good balance of size. 10 would be high quality, but more manageable. So 8, 10, and 12 is what I would go for. If you go lower than 8, you are going to see a degradation of the quality, and it will just make your portfolio look crap. So if you need to get the file size down, that is how I would do it. James, cinnamon bun time and a latte. No, Elaine, don't say that. Now I want a cinnamon bun, like a proper bakery. Liam, are you still there? Liam's the PT. If he doesn't reply, Poppy, it's like, go, go, go. Cinnamon bun and a latte. Get me a chai latte. Along with a cold beer. I mean, I don't drink beer and it's a bit early for me. But if Poppy put a whiskey in my hand right now with some ice, I wouldn't... Well, who says it's too early? You? You gonna tell me when I can drink whiskey?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't resist. I wouldn't put up too much of a fight. The cat has superpowers. Yeah, his superpower is being a lovable idiot.
Oh,
He's a lovable idiot, that one. That's cool. You should take Dan's course. He's Master of Illustrator and Photoshop. Yes, nice! Gorav, promote the course. I don't have to do it.
Have you read Alana's comment?
No? Oh. Hang on. Okay, I'm telling my mum I want a Dansky course for my birthday. It's in a week, in a few days. Yes!
Oh.
Alana, at the checkout, there is actually a gift option. So, your mum could, in theory... Okay, you get a custom pitch here.
I need to get it ready, don't I?
Okay. What are you getting ready?
The link.
The link, yes. Okay.
Get the trailer rolling.
All right, I'll do it in a sec. What was I saying? I was on such a roll then. What did you say?
You're so ADHD.
Oh, I thought you said I'm in HD. Dan's in high definition. Yes, there is actually an option they added to gift it at the checkout. So in theory, your mum could go to the checkout, check the little gift box and pop your email in, and she could actually buy it for you.
Does it come with a bow?
I don't. It's not a physical. It's an online course, so it doesn't come with a bow. But if you were to enroll in the course, I would send you an animated GIF of a present being unwrapped by email as a bonus.
Aww.
For your birthday. So
Cute.
it's an added custom bonus.
Is that for every single person who's got a birthday? They've now got you. Everyone.
Well, if everyone were to ask me, now I've kind of got to do it, haven't I? So I have kind of penciled myself into a bit of a corner. It's like, gift for you, gift for you, gift for you.
You have a gift.
Go on then, let's roll the trailer. This is the Ultimate Bundle. The Ultimate Bundle has all 4 courses plus a bonus course. It will teach... The Ultimate Bundle, basically, you save a chunk of money with the bundle pricing anyway, and it will take you from beginner, never used Illustrator and Photoshop, to the best of what I can teach. There's going to be about 200 lessons in total. So if you want to just shortcut 20 years and become just, you know, able to create whatever you can imagine pretty much, which is like what I do nowadays, this is the fastest way to do it. With this Ultimate Course Bundle, you'll gain the skills I've mastered over 2 decades as a professional designer. I'm never going to get tired of watching that. I love it. It took so long. It was the trailer music. When I got the trailer music from Invato, and as soon as I heard that, it was called, what was it? Commercial rock song or something. It was like, yes, this is banging. I love this tune. Oh, happy birthday for last week, Rianne. Oh, nice. Okay, competition. Yeah, so thoughts on a UI game themed competition. I can watch this trailer every day. Oh, please do. Just keep smashing refresh. Get the trailer views up. Don't know about Thriving. Had my... Oh, I didn't realise it was your first class you were doing. You said you were going to spin. How was it? I mean, obviously horrific on some degree. Yeah, but I used to hate spinning, but when you do it regularly, you get good at it, and then it is kind of like you almost get addicted to the, what is it, the endorphins, the pain, yeah, the suffering, whatever, the dopamine, whatever chemicals it is your brain releases, that's like, yeah, this is good. I'm moving my legs. Is there any other way to do a table rather than split grid in Illustrator? That's a good question. There is. I just wonder if my brain is gonna... Yes! Ah, there we go. I thought my brain was gonna short circuit. Can we do something about that box?
Yeah, sure.
Can we remove it?
Yeah.
Or do we have to re-upload the video?
I'll have to re-upload it, but it's fine.
Did you add it on? You added it on, didn't you?
Look, it was on
How did that get past
it was
QA?
on TikTok.
How did that get past
Because
QA?
if it's it was just a plain thing with a red dot in the middle, and I thought if people see that, they're just gonna be like, no.
We need to have a chat, me and you, after this stream. My office. we need to have a design theory session. You can't quit. We need a design theory session, okay? Because I'm not joking, that is the worst box I've ever seen. It was like someone did a pop-up box, and they thought, you know what? I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna butcher all these corners. I'm gonna freehand a bit on the left.
But just leave me and Barney alone. I can make it worse if you want.
Please don't. Wait, so you made it worse in the first place? Or was that a pre-made asset?
No, it's a pre-made asset.
I was gonna say I was about to kick off then if you actually did that.
It
Goodness
was
me.
the best one out of all of them, to be honest.
Well, I dread to think what the other ones were like. It was fun, but as soon as I stepped off the bike, I almost fell over. Nice. Jelly legs. Booked again for next week. Very good.
Oh,
nice. Committed. I cannot wait to start the course at the weekend.
Woo.
Oh, that's amazing. Which one are you going to go with first, Elaine? Photoshop or Illustrator? Which one takes your fancy? Right, sorry. Yes, we were going to do Nizar. We're going to do boxes. So what you can do is you can create like a box. You could make this the same width and height as your artboard. Obviously, I've got a silly oversized artboard, but pretend that's A4 paper. That's your document size. And you can go object, path, and you can split into grid, check preview, and then you can introduce columns and rows. And this can be pretty good for, as you can imagine, a multitude of things. You can add gutters as well, which is the spacing in between. So if you wanted to design like a modular grid or something, or work with some kind of grid system, or just have something to line things up to, this is quite a good way to do it. View, guides, make guides, and then boom, these are actual guides. And so as you're designing now, you can snap to those guides. I don't know what that is. Is it a rhombus? Not sure. But that's one way that you can do it, but obviously you don't want to do that. The other way that I would do it is use the rectangular grid tool. Click and drag, and use the up, down, left, out, right arrow keys to adjust the rows and columns. If you want a square, hold down shift, or you can click anywhere and you can specify this with a bit more precision. So the width, let's say I want 1000 by 500. Horizontal dividers, I want 2. So that's going to give me 3 separate rows, and then 11 vertical dividers, which should give me 12 columns. So that's how you can create with a bit more sizing precision. And essentially you do kind of get the same thing. You can still go and turn that into guides. With that second technique, you can't do gutters though. So I think the split into grid technique is a bit more useful in if you want to set up gutters, which is the spacing between the columns and the rows. Photoshop will be a nice change from web development and year-end accounts. Yeah, Photoshop is fun. I do a lot of Illustrator stuff because I think that's what I'm mostly known for on the channel, but photo manipulation in Photoshop is like my favorite thing in the world ever. I can spend an insane amount of hours sat down, rarely getting up unless it's eating or going to the toilet. I can just sit for hours and work on a photo manipulation piece or something. Dan, just a side note, I've noticed your camera autofocus is going crazy between focusing on you and the mic. Not sure if you're aware. I'm not. No.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Where do I put the mic? Hang on. Can you still hear me if I stick the mic over there?
That's a bit too far away. You can still.
Is it? Yeah, but I do get quite loud and very animated sometimes, so I don't want to completely blow somebody's ears out. Is that okay? I can start yelling. Can you still hear me? You are the boss of photo manipulation. Oh, thank you very much, Rianne. That is very kind of you. It's fine like this. Excellent. It's fine, Dan. Excellent. Okay, cool. How much AI tools can affect the custom graphic design logo banner? I'm not sure I entirely understand the question. AI tools can affect custom graphic design logos, banners. I think it depends in what capacity you want to learn AI. It's a very like talking about AI is like Pandora's box, really. You know, some people love it, some people hate it. There's me in the middle that's kind of like, I see the utility of it, and I do use certain aspects of AI because it does help me tremendously, like generative fill to extend graphics and things and thumbnails in Photoshop, or just remove things. It's great. ChatGPT has helped me no end as a solo creator, or solo plus one, which is that one over there. She who shall not be named.
What does it?
Just exist and help me with social media.
Oh yeah.
I was making the point that it's just me. I do all of it, except obviously you're helping now.
Yeah.
So AI, like ChatGPT, is very useful. Even if I've got a thought in my head and I want to bounce an idea off it and get like hey, I'm thinking of doing this, pros and cons of each, go boom. AI is very useful in that sense. Do you cover AI in your new course? So there will, in the Illustrator one, I'm just trying to think through the modules and the lessons that I've got. In the Illustrator one, there's definitely going to be a section on using Illustrator with Firefly. There might be one in the Photoshop one as well, just so it's kind of in both. Where you can design something very, very rough, even a sketch, and then bring it into Firefly and turn it into something awesome. Again, that is another very useful use of AI that I think designers will find helpful if they choose to engage in those sorts of AI tools. The reality is that it is going to be helpful for a lot of creatives. And what's the other use? There is going to be a little bit of ChatGPT and how ChatGPT can pair with Illustrator and write custom scripts and things as well. So you can enable additional functionality beyond what Illustrator is actually capable of doing. So it's pretty exciting, yeah. So there will be some AI in the course.
Max Art says hi.
Doshan. Hi, bye. Thanks for dropping by, man. I use ChatGPT for design briefs as I'm in my practicing era. Hey, perfect use for it. Yeah, it is. I can't deny that it's not useful. Or no, I can't deny that it's useful. Yeah, no, that was the right one. Okay, has anyone said anything else about the idea of doing a UI design competition? I use ChatGPT to criticize my designs. Oh yeah, because you can actually upload visuals of your work and say, yeah, you could say, is this good? Improve this. It's too early for double negatives. Is that what they're called? Yeah, I've heard that term before. The term was escaping me. Double negatives. They totally short circuit my brain. As you just saw, I cannot deal with double negatives. Or if I'm especially feeling idiotic, I will do like a triple negative and forget what reality I'm even in. Right, I don't know what I'm saying. Let's find some music. Oh, goodness me. Billy Talent. Do we go with you? No, I'm going to go Linkin Park again. I'm enjoying the new album. That popped up on stream the other day. It was, oh, Linkin Park. Not had them for a while. Brain needs a hard reset, yeah. Factory settings, let's go. Ooh, let me just see how the icons turned out the other day as well. Oh, where did I put them? I only tidied my desktop up the other day and it's already a mess. Oh, where's it gone? Stream 2, there we go. Oh yeah, I haven't used it yet. I need to find a use for that damn cinnamon bun. Courtesy of Poppy and Rianne talking about food, we ended up with the cinnamon bun icon. Which, I'll be honest, was probably the hardest one to do. As you can see, there were just loads of failed techniques. Like that one is proper, that's halfway to a turd, that is. So this one's looking a bit vortexy. That one looks quite satisfying. But there's a lot of different ways we could have done it. Where's the end one? Where's my cinnamon bun gone? I've lost it. This one turned out okay, the handshake one.
Is that you?
Hmm?
Your foot's banging against the thing.
Oh, am I? That's gone. I'm bouncing around, tapping my foot. Treat yourself to freshly baked design hacks. That was it. I've got to get that in there now. I have to justify the time spent on the bun. Oh, there it is. It's over there. I stuck it on the left. So we've got cinnamon bun and cinnamon bun with a plate. These icons turned out really well. So massive thank you to everyone who piled in ideas for these and kind of helped me refine them. We did the shield idea as well. Crazy folder work idea. Yeah, these turned out pretty well. I think there's a few more to do as well. So cinnamon buns there, design tools. Oh yeah, we did the handshake. So this is what the final styling ended up being. So I kind of went for this suite of gradients. So in a linear style with gradients for each one. But then I kind of tried something a bit different and did a few different versions inside a squircle. Yes, that is what it's called. And I kind of settled on, at least for now, this one here. Where everything's very linear and then you've just got that splash of colour. I do love that style. But I also kind of want to try something different and just see if I can make this look even better. So we're going to go live paint bucket tool, which is over here, K on the keyboard, and I got to pick a colour now. Do you know, I think they might have actually finally changed it in Illustrator, where when you double click on the inactive stroke or fill, it doesn't bring up that damn color panel. I think they finally changed it. They might have actually heard me moaning about it so many times. Where is it? Where's the color panel? There it is. Or is it just off screen? Oh no. Oh no, it's down there. I got excited then. Hang on. It drives me insane, this does. Oh, please. So if I double click on the inactive one. Oh no, it's so annoying. It's like that panel always just pops up. It drives me insane. You have to then dock it somewhere or stick it somewhere. Can we try duotone? Yeah, let's try a few different ones. Okay, we'll do duotone over there. I mean, I do actually need that color panel now, so shouldn't moan too much. Alright, so we need a box color. A bit warmer. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I've kind of got the right hue. If you want to switch over to HSB, that's hue, saturation, brightness, is quite good. With RGB sliders, it's very useful. But if I wanted to have a darker shade of this color I've already picked, it's quite difficult to do it with color sliders. So I'm just gonna, there we go, that's a bit better. So you want to switch over to hue, saturation, brightness, leave the hue mostly where it is and play around with the brightness. You see, darker version, drag the brightness down, even darker version. So it maintains a consistent hue. That looks flipping good. So now we're going to try some yellow for the gradient. So I'm actually going to expand that. I should be able to move these colors. Yeah. And we're going to ungroup it, grab the star, grab the gradient tool. And we'll try these as well. I'm going to swap it round. Am I? No, maybe have the darker bit down there actually. I might even... Okay, all of these have got their own gradient. That's going to get a bit annoying. If I do Command or Control 8, I can turn that into a compound path, which gives me one gradient. That's going to make my life... Because they're kind of going in the same direction, so it makes my life considerably easier managing one rather than 4. Ah, right. Bringing this down starts introducing more black. It doesn't look very nice. So we're going to do this cautiously, and I'm actually going to adjust the hue. Yellow's a funny one. If you want to go darker with yellow, I would suggest sometimes introducing a bit of orange and a bit of red. Because if you just keep it yellow and go straight down, it can look quite murky sometimes. I mean, that does look pretty cool. Oh, what, Alana? Yeah, what, with your yellows looking a bit murky? That issue. Yellow is a funny one. Not all colours kind of do that, but that is a bit of a trick to get around yellows looking a bit crap. Especially when you add black to yellow. If you start adding black into yellow to make it darker, it just looks a bit, ugh. So that little bit of red. Are you going to upload this to FreePic? No, I'm not. They're going to be on my website. I think maybe at the end of it, I might even just give them out to everyone on my email list for free. Because why not, right? I don't know if people would have a use for them, but even as a style reference, maybe actually, do you know what would be maybe useful to send out as an email? It would be the same icon designed in like 5 different styles, something like what we're doing here. We've got linear with black, we've got linear with gradient. got one single color. We've got this one full color. We could do this again with gradients across everything on the box as well. Duotone that we'll get to in a minute. That might be interesting to kind of maybe encourage people to open their mind when they're thinking about icons. Because we could even do a version that doesn't have the stroke on it. They look like apps. They're cute. Excellent. I'm always locking and unlocking layers all the time. Is that bad practice? No. So there is a... Oops. There's two different ways of doing it, really. If you're not working with layers, which I don't really bother with layers much, I'm always working on layer 1. Not as essential as Photoshop. You can turn on an option which is unlock on canvas, which is this option here. So what I do when I'm really lazy is I'll start doing all this and make an artboard full of a bazillion different things, as we've got here. And if I need to lock something, I'll go lock selection and then lock selection. Sometimes if I need to unlock it, I'll just go unlock all. But the problem is that will unlock everything. So sometimes I've locked things and like backgrounds and I want them to stay locked. That unlocks everything. So the way around that is to turn on unlock on canvas. And you can do that from here, selection and anchor display. Select and unlock objects on the canvas. So even though the object is locked, I still get a padlock icon next to it and I click that and it unlocks it again. So no more going nuclear, I need to unlock everything. You can lock and unlock individual objects. Yeah, so if you're using unlock all, that is, you're hitting the you're hitting kit button and you're going nuclear. So that's the way you can lock and unlock individual objects. Yeah, we all pick up bad habits. The thing is, we pick up these bad habits and we just do them, and then until someone says that's not the best way of doing it, try this, you just don't know. I'm just going to try a gradient one quickly. I've got the colors here, so I'm going to copy this one. Just gradient tool it, get rid of that, and whoops. Oh, what are you doing? Okay. And then we'll make this one darker. You can also increase the saturation a bit. So you know the yellow trick we just talked about? Sometimes as you go darker, you lose a bit of saturation, or it appears like you do, so you can compensate for that. Otherwise here you can see it's a bit grey.
What are you doing?
Is that the cat?
Yeah, you just bashed into the desk.
Yeah. And then we can rotate this gradient so it's kind of, yeah, there we go. So the light's going to be higher up here and the shadow down here. We can copy that gradient over there and just figure out the lighting side of things. So the light is coming from the top. Down here, I can sample the same gradient, but it's kind of shadowed. So I'm actually going to go a bit darker. I'm actually going to add another stop here with a darker version still. probably is a bit too dark, but it doesn't matter. I can redraw the gradient and kind of find the right point. Something like that. And then we got this color here. And the dark bit is 100% going to be coming from the bottom. So we've got like a solid color version and this version here. Oh, there is something else I'm going to do to this one that I love. You can go with black strokes, that is fine. But I love having the icons have like the dominant color as the stroke. As long as it works with the yellow, that's the only sticking point. I really do love that. Because sometimes black, depending on your colors, can look quite harsh. And you might like that, but I just flipping love. Oh, it makes the stroke fit with the tone of the colors as well. How do you let a gradient flow smoothly instead of having a line in the center? So you mean like a harsh divide? If you want a smooth gradient, the smoothest gradient is going to have just two colors. This is your midpoint here, this diamond. And moving that around is obviously going to make one color more dominant than the other. For the smoothest gradient, you want it exactly 50% between those two stops. The same if I add another stop here, you can see these still sit at 50%. As soon as I start pushing them closer, oh, hello, you alright? You coming up here, are you? Come on then. As soon as you start pushing the midpoint, that's the diamond, closer to the swatch or the stop on the gradient slider. We can do it here as well, same thing. You're going to get one color be more dominant, but if you move the actual stops themselves, you're going to get very harsh. You're going to get that. So if you're trying to make one color more dominant, I would move, and you want a smooth gradient, move the midpoint before you actually move the stop itself. Because you can see I don't have to push it far, and already I get a very harsh divide, whereas the midpoint is smoother. Hopefully that answers your question. Have you worked with DreamWorks, Disney Studios, or any Hollywood animation studios before? No. You chuckling over there. I did have an email from, I think it was MSNBC, an American news network, reach out to me before, but actually no, I didn't decline. I completely ignored them. No thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so you could do the gradient one and I could refine that, but I do love this flat style. You got this flat and then you got the gradient, so it's quite nice. Oh, cool. Awesome, Alana. Gorath just applying the pressure there. Roll to the course ASAP. Yeah, come on, Alana, get your mum on the phone. Let's get this done. Goodness me. I tell you what, look, honestly, just give me your mum's number. I'll give her a call. We'll get it done in 5. Don't you worry. Listen, Alana's mum, we've never met before. You don't know me. My name's Dan. I'm on YouTube. Look, I got a course. Hear me out. 2 minutes.
Don't send it to Steve. Send it to me.
Oh my goodness, Poppy's straight in there with the. I think I'm getting better at marketing. We are getting better at the marketing side of it. Definitely. I still feel like an amateur, but I think we're getting there. I tell her about it almost every day. Oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. Now you just got to tell her to get it done. Get it done. Let's get it sorted. We can... Or is that like a birthday hint? Like if you just say it every day, she'll think, I know what she wants for her birthday. Asa says, and you can start and end the gradient out of the thing you're colouring to make it smoother. Yes, absolutely. That's what I was doing up here. So, yeah, the gradient panel is quite useful if you don't like working with the slider on the canvas. It's not as smooth as Photoshop. It isn't. I hope Illustrator, the team at Illustrator, update it to more like Photoshop's, because it's so snappy and responsive and not as fiddly and fumbly. But yeah, you don't just have to run the gradient only the width. With the actual tool, you could start over here and you get a much softer gradient. The gradient will still run outside the bounds of the object, you just won't see it. Or you can just have it short. Or you could do it really short, and then you get like a harsh divide. I love that style. Right, duotone. So I guess this sort of style would be good if you were doing a one color print, which I don't think we have Pantones in this anymore, do we? If you were doing like a spot color print, no Pantone. We'll do it as a spot color print though, just so I can show you. So I'll pretend. So we're going to make this a spot color. So this could be a Pantone or whatever, which is like a specific ink. So this is going to be a one color print. So this could be black and white, for example. Same thing. Whether you're using black ink or a Pantone color, it's still a one color print. And with one color, you might think, oh, like I'm somewhat limited, but you can have tints of that one color. You see all this? This is still a one color print. We're just using a lesser percentage or a tint of that same color. So if you are designing black and white or using spot colors, you've got more flexibility than you might realize. How much for the course, Dan? Yeah, the pricing is on the Dansky.com. There's a few different ones. There's 5 at the minute.
There's some good deals as well.
Say again?
Some good deals.
I probably should mention that. Yeah, so because I'm launching the 2 new masterclasses for Photoshop and Illustrator, those are pre-order at the minute, so they're coming out the 15th of March for Photoshop and the 30th of April. And if you pre-order those or anything with those in before 13th of February, isn't it?
That's it. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Basically, I'm doing a discount on bundles and different courses and things. So,
Great
you know,
Valentine's Day present.
Valentine's Day present, yeah. So if you're interested in the Photoshop bundle or the Illustrator bundle or the Masterclass bundle or the Ultimate bundle, there's quite a chunk to be saved. Like the Ultimate one, the full bundle price would be $456, I think. But because it's a bundle and it's a pre-order, it's $379. So that's like getting all the courses as a bundle and pre-ordering these at the same time, the new ones. That's like a saving of 120 quid. Which $379 for 5 courses is kind of insane.
Is that dollars or pounds?
That's pounds.
Okay.
In dollars it would be a bit more. $379 in dollars. What would that be? what would that be? 379 GBP to about $470 for the ultimate one, which is ridiculous. Like when I was working on the trailers, I was just looking at the designs and I'm thinking, for literally like what, 380 quid, $470, you can literally learn from scratch through to literally the most advanced stuff I can create. So if you look at my work and think, oh my god, how does he do that? And you've got no experience using Photoshop or Illustrator, you can literally learn all of it.
Dansky.
That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to spend 20 years watching tutorials. I mean, definitely watch mine on the YouTube channel and the TikToks and all that, but yeah, just can't recommend my course enough. I know that sounds like I'm tooting my own trumpet a little bit, but it's just it's just you'd be mad not to. You could save 20 years that I spent doing it all manually. But now you don't have to. I'll teach it to you.
You've gone to uni.
Well, I think I've not been to uni, so I think uni covers and teaches a lot of other stuff as well. Which is why Rianne's just started doing a master's at uni now, so I'm very curious to hear continuously how Rianne's getting on with it and what she's learning.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to better understand the university curriculum, so I could just do my own version of that.
Cat ASMR.
Say again?
Cat ASMR.
Oh, is it back again? If the cat ASMR gets a bit boring or annoying, let me know and I'll just throw him across the room. Hey, Billy. Meow. Wilfred, shout out Dan. I'm Will and I'm one of your fans. It is also my dream to be a graphic designer, and you're one of those who inspire me. You are such a great teacher. Thank you so much, Wilfred. That's amazing. Poppy's going to send you a link to my course.
What was it?
Nothing. I'm just joking.
I feel like you should talk about Discord as well.
Should I?
Yeah.
What you think I should do? You think I should
Because
talk about it?
There's a few new names here that might not be on the Discord.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to join the community and hang out with us off stream, we have a Discord server. It's free to join.
There you go.
There you go. That was easy, wasn't it? Oh, well done, Pops. She's on it. The gradient generator you shared the other day is awesome, Dan. Oh, was that UI? What's the website? UIgradients.com or something? Something like that. It's fun, isn't it, Rianne? Next. Oh, I like that. Abdul says good prices. I think it's very reasonable. Yeah, literally. And it's not even just the courses. I think the biggest thing as well is that, and people have found this quite surprising, is I literally exist in the community pretty much all day, every day. I've got it on my phone, I've got it on my laptop. I'm always doing something work related anyway. And I think some people have been kind of shocked as how, not only how quickly I'll reply with a solution to something, but sometimes if they get stuck, rather than me explain something, it's easier for me to just record my screen and show them and do a quick demo or something. And I think people have been surprised that I offer that level of support. And it's like, no, I actually do care. I do give a shit. Like, whereas some people I know online will just try and sell you something and that's it. You know, got your money, thanks, see you later. And I hate that crap. You know, if you're gonna teach people and get people to enroll in something, you know, you've got to be there to support them and help and stuff. So, and I love doing it as well. I love it when people get stuck and have a question, because it's like, yes, let's see if I can help. There's usually a lot of times, especially with Photoshop and Illustrator, the questions and the problems that people have is something that I've gone through myself and I've had to look up the solution. So it's nice to be able to save someone the half an hour or an hour of trawling Google looking for a solution. It's like, no, no, no. You want to do this? There you go. I love how she's telling you, don't forget to mention this and that. She really supports your work. That's absolutely fantastic. Oh, yeah, she does. She really does. Plus, I'm getting older and I forget things and I need reminding. She's like, Dan, remember to mention you have a course. Oh, wow. Love the cat ASMR. Crumble, you're famous. I mean, everywhere I sit, he will come and sit next to me. So
He's obsessed.
he is literally, it's because we babied him. He is literally my baby. So I think it's good that you like the cat ASMR, because that might be a non-negotiable. Don't think he's gonna. Anyway, duotone icons. Right. Sorry, I got distracted. Again, let's get some music on. Right, I set up a Pantone or a spot color, didn't I? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another version of that. Yeah, so this version here, I've got the stroke editable. Right. So if I swap the stroke and the fill. Okay. If you've designed this with strokes and you want a linear version, when you swap the stroke to a fill, it's going to look like that, which is not ideal. So what we've got to do is select everything and use the shape builder tool to define each shape as its own segment. So the star, there we go. Now the rest, what I need to do is click in each of these sections anyway, because it will now establish these as their own shape. This one is a bit of a problem. Ah, right, that didn't connect. So you want that to connect or overlap. You might have noticed it didn't select the segments individually. There we go. Click, click. So now nothing changes, but these are their own segments. So when I swap the fill and the stroke, they're all individual pieces. So I could color them up. And I'm getting ahead of myself now. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to select spot color or your Pantone, whatever it is, and we can play around with tints. So we'll make the star a bit brighter. This is going to be our darkest color. So we need to figure out where our darkest color is going to go. Well, probably inside the box actually. So maybe that will go a bit lighter. So I'd probably define a few different. You could have like 50%, 25%, 75 or whatever. And before someone asks me about gradients and Pantone colors, I'd say you could do it, but I would see a printer's proof beforehand because it might look awful. And I might even change that slightly.
Bye, Rianne.
Oh, see you later, Rianne. I've kind of ruined the bit on the side there. But that's fine. I'll grab it from over here. There we go. So in terms of accessibility, we are treading a very fine line. But I think for something like this, with a Pantone or a one color print, you're going to be printing this, so it's less about looking at colors on screens and more about, you know, you'll probably see this in front of you. So it would be the kind of thing you'd probably want to print and test, to be honest. But because we've set this up with a spot color and tints, the great thing about this is we can actually change that spot color. And all the tints change with it. So let's say I want to go blue instead. And that is all still a one color print. So by having that spot color as a global swatch, we've got a lot of flexibility. Oh, is he snoring? He might be, yeah. How long are each of the course videos? Oh, it's hard to say. The Photoshop and Illustrator courses are 8 hours minimum, 8 to 9, I think. Each. The icon course is around about, give or take, 90 minutes. That's more smaller bite-sized videos. The advanced courses, I will be able to confirm the length once all the lessons are recorded. With the advanced courses, there's probably going to be a lot of editing in it, because I think having lessons that are like 30 minutes to an hour long each with 40 lessons is going to make it a very, very long course. So I'm still experimenting, but with those courses, what I'm thinking is distilling the key points down into more digestible lessons, like 10 minutes each, something like that. So nothing's kind of skipped or missed over, but where I'm like repeating bits that have the same process, just showing that in a slightly more quicker or sped up bit. Do you know what I mean? Because I think the goal of the lesson should be to teach you exactly what you need to be able to replicate it yourself. And I think, you know, if I could teach something in 10 minutes versus 30 minutes, it's just better. I can get that knowledge into your head quicker. That's my thoughts on it anyway. You know, I'd rather do a 10-minute lesson than a 30-minute lesson. Especially if I'm going to just learn the same stuff, you know. I'm doing a business course at the moment from someone called James Smith. And when I first joined the course, the lessons were like 1 to 5 minutes long each. And I was like, my first thought was, oh, they're not very long. But no, they're perfect. James just literally tells you, no BS, exactly what you need to know. And boom, you can go away and do it. He doesn't spend ages waffling on about stuff. It's just exactly what you need, so that then you can go and do that in your own life or business or work. It's like it respects your time. Ooh, that's a good question. Would you know how to scale up an individual letter without changing the letter weight? Haha, yes, you'll like this one. This cat. He's like stretched across the laptop, the headphone cable, and the pen display. Get off the headphones. He's trying to eat the headphones now. No. Get off the headphones or I'm going to have to put you down. No, stop it. Stop it. I've got to take a picture of this just so I can show you after the stream. I'll post this somewhere in the community. This is ridiculous. This is what I'm working with. Yeah, do one more. This cat is an absolute numpty. Oh, he's a donut. Absolute donut. Get your hand off the feet off the pen display, you numpty. I can't work under these conditions. Right, text. Okay. Right, let's type a word. Sausage. There we go.
Silly sausage.
In fact, yeah, I was showing someone this the other day. So you will need to take the text and convert it to outlines. So make sure you got your font pretty good. The problem is with this, if you scale this up now, I want the S really big. I'm kind of stuck. Now, if you're lucky enough that you've got more weights in the font, you could drop it down to like a semi-bold or a regular. Although that does look a bit weird. But sometimes you might want to maintain the width, and I totally get that. One way you can do it is... Hello?
Sorry. What drawing tablet do you use?
Oh, I use a few. I've got a Wacom Intuos Pro, a small one. I don't really use that anymore because this one here is an XP Pen Artist 12 Gen 2. That was sent to me as a sponsored product. I think I did a video ages ago. Although I think it was about £200 at the time, and it's probably a lot cheaper now, and it's really good. I would legit buy this. I would spend £200 on this. The other one I've got at the studio was, I think it was like it launched at like £900 or something crazy. It's now like maybe 500-600 quid, and that's like a 4K 16-inch. Like, it is flipping nice. I think actually now, that was quite a few years ago, so it's probably dropped to a more accessible price, I think. But I cannot recommend a pen display enough if you do this stuff a lot. Pen tablets are great, where you draw on a trackpad, but having a pen display where you can actually, I'm not doing it now, but if you're not doing a live stream, you can bend over and look at the screen and draw directly on the screen. Oh, especially in Photoshop with pen pressure, it's a game changer. Being able to actually draw directly on the screen is just magic. So the main one I've got, the big dog, is an Artist Pro 16 TP, again by XP Pen. I know Wacom are there, like they're the big guns in town, but XP Pen products that I've used so far of theirs are just as good. But a lot less. I bought a Wacom graphics tablet for my birthday last year. Nice. Which one did you go for? Did you go for like a small or a medium? I've got a small one at the office. I would still use it with my laptop, but I wouldn't when I'm connected to a large monitor, because you're drawing on a tiny trackpad, and every little stroke on a trackpad is a big stroke on the big screen. So you want to try and get, if you've got a bigger screen or a giant monitor, get a bigger tablet or pen display. Yeah, there you go. I use it with my laptop. Yeah. See, my Wacom tablet, my small one's fine on my laptop. But the reason that I like pen displays is when you draw on a pen display, it's a one-to-one. You know, if I move an inch on the pen display, I move an inch on the screen. Artist 22E Pro Professional Pen Display. Yes, 100%. I think, yeah, when you get into the... I do a lot of the advanced Photoshop stuff at home with a mouse sometimes, but I like my pen display a lot, especially when I'm brushing and retouching. I'm using one now. It just feels nicer as well. You can just flow so easy with some sort of stylus. Anyway, go to Object, Path, Offset Path. Set this as a negative value. Hold Command or Control and use the up and down arrow keys to go in smaller increments. Now we can't see anything, so I'm going to switch into outline mode here. And this is one way that you can make lettering thinner or thicker. Now, depending on the font, this can actually mess up the typography. So if you've got serifs and things, it doesn't always work as smoothly. We'll snap that to the bottom of the S as well.
Moosh.
It's Moosha! Mooshy Moosh! She's joined us for Cat ASMR. And that is one way that you can, I mean, obviously, you know, take it with a grain of salt, what it looks like typographically, but the path's offset, if you do a little bit to make a letter chunkier or less chunky, what are you doing? Are you taking a picture? Or are you taking a video? Are you being a content creator? You're an influencer.
No, that's you.
You're an influencer, Dan. Do, 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 do. I don't know. I was thinking, you're a wizard, Harry. You're an influencer, Dan. I hate that term. Bloody hate that term. Not an influencer. Ugh. I'm a creative nugget. Hey, Moosh, how you doing? We've got our, for any course members, we've got our meetup tomorrow as well. Likely going to be in the afternoon. I need to set a time and it'll be on Zoom. It'll be around between 2 and 4 p.m. UK time. This cat. But yeah. Also, with the meetups that we do, this is the meetups are like live over Zoom, so it's fun. It's fun time.
It's
Fun time to hang out. But someone suggested, I think it was Raquel said about doing a design quiz. And I'll do anything. I'll do anything. But I'm sleepy. I'm gonna sneak on. Yeah. You have to be really quiet. Moosh will be there like, oh my god, someone's coming. Alt tab. But yeah, I don't know. We've only done one so far in December, and I had a great time, and it was nice to see and talk to everyone. But whether we use those for more design teaching or we just get on and do a quiz and have a laugh, you know, I'm open to ideas. Oh. So yeah, that's a trick that I've used before with lettering. You can make it slightly chunkier or slightly thinner if you don't have a font weight. I'm gonna warn my boss so she knows. Using the Pathfinder tool is hard. Oh no, we'll teach you that now. We'll smash that one now. I tell you what, actually, Abdul, spoiler, the next YouTube video that I've got going up, maybe today or tomorrow, is actually Pathfinder. Try again. Pathfinder versus Shape Builder tool. But this is going to be a sneak preview, yeah. You get a sneak preview of new video in bad German accent, yeah. Right. So yeah, with the Pathfinder panel, where are you? Let's open you up. You've got to select multiple shapes to see this in the property inspector, or you can just whip up the panel. Okay. Pathfinder. Ignore all of these bottom ones, except the one on the left. That's kind of cool. The rest, just ignore, because they're useless. So, select multiple shapes, top left. Combine them together. They will become a single shape. These two, this option here is minus front, or you can think of this as subtract. Click on it, whichever shape is on top will be subtracted from the one below. Okay, here, these shapes overlap. The overlapping space is this bit here. If we click this option, it's going to keep the area where they overlap. However, if we do the same thing here, but choose the exclude option, it's going to knock out where they overlap. So they're kind of the opposite, intersect and exclude. Those are the four main ones. The only other one that's useful is divide, and this can be useful. So I'm going to draw a shape. There you go. Best shape in the world. Not. If I wanted to separate all of these lines, you could use the knife tool, but this tool is somewhat unpredictable and it will slice shapes apart. But if you want to do it with a bit more precision, so if I wanted to draw a line straight through here, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I want to slice off this bottom part and have 1, 2, 3 shapes. You can draw lines, select everything and hit divide. And what it will do is it will consume that line, and if I ungroup everything now, you can see it will pull things apart. That was a crap example. A better example is this. Select everything, divide, ungroup, ungroup, ungroup. Ah, right, because I had a fill, that confused it then. So let's get rid of the fill. Divide. Ah! Why you're not working? Interesting. Let's try a different shape. Let's try a custom shape. It might be because it's a circle and it's a live shape. Oh, hang on. Is it the stroke type? Set the stroke to center. That can't be the issue, surely not. Okay, let's try grouping these together. Oh, okay, interesting. Or is it this one needs to be on top or bottom? Huh, I've never had this happen before. Challenge accepted. Okay, well that's weird. Normally, as I just kind of demonstrated on the other one, it will, you can just slice all of this up. Hit divide. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, no idea what happened there. Weird, strange glitch. Ungroup everything, and now you've got different segments. That's weird. If you get that same issue happening, which I don't know what the hell that was, shape builder tool, and then just click on each piece. And then you can alter option and drag to remove the bits around the outside. Center the stroke. You get the same result. The only problem with the shape builder tool is it can sometimes leave artifacts and bits of anchor point left over. Ah, you're welcome. Boom tastification. Ah, nice. You're welcome, Kathleen. There you go. So that video is going to go up. It's basically the Pathfinder versus the shape builder tool. There's a few more little nuggets that I haven't covered in that video as well. Sorry, you're waving at me.
You'll be pleased to know that TikTok now doesn't have the thing.
What thing?
Your video.
What do you mean?
Doesn't have the
Oh, what, that abomination. Yes, and make sure that never happens again.
You're welcome.
Or you'll be sent to the gulag. Which I think is like a Russian prison or something. I don't know if it's exclusively Russian. I just remember playing Call of Duty years ago. And you're in the Russian gulag. And that's literally all I know. Get your foot off my laptop, you. This cat is a silly twat. You are a funny little cupcake. This duotone idea is really cool. We didn't have to make it as a Pantone, by the way. A spot color. I probably would. If I were doing it one color, I probably would do it slightly differently. I don't really do a lot of print stuff nowadays and Pantone colors and things, so much more of a digital bean. So let's not be constricted by Pantone colours. Is that the dishwasher?
Yeah.
Right, let's get a gradient. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to package these icons up into an email because there's so many different styles.
You should put them on Canva.
Wait, upload them on Canva?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just upload them for people to use on Canva.
What, you can do that?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Do they have to... Oh my god. I could make millions of dollars! Oh no, what's happened, Illustrator? What have you done? How did you find success, Dan? I made icons for Canva. Oh, look at that. That is flipping nice. We are going purple. Purple to blue. I can't tell if Illustrator's being a little bit weird now or if it's Crumble's foot that keeps nudging the pen display. He's just like a little, he's just rolled up into like a little bun.
Cinnamon bun.
Cinnamon bun. Okay, right, with this one, you can't, I've used the same gradient. You can't really see the distinction anymore between them. So what I'm going to do is just adjust the gradient maybe ever so slightly on each one. Maybe I start with this one. We'll go down. We'll go down a bit more. And then you see what I mean about the slider, it's just so fiddly. And then that one. Maybe something like that. I'm just trying to create like a little bit more. Yeah, just trying to create a bit more distinction. I mean, obviously the accessibility police are going to take me away for that. But because it's like a more incidental detail, it's not like fundamental to the viewing experience, I'd say. You know, you can still see what it is. Right, let's see if that purpley blue gradient is going to run quite nicely across the whole thing. I don't think it will. I think it'd be better to just have the blue like that. So we'll have like a that. Yeah, that's going to look so much nicer. Yeah, look at that. Look at it. Oh, you seeing this, Poppy? You're not even watching, are you? I bet you're on. I bet you're on YouTube. Or
No, I'm on the Insta.
you're on the Insta. Instagramming. Oh, I flipping love gradients so much. Just take me now. There we go. And then, I don't know about the star. Does the star get special magic treatment? Box on the inside. Kind of like that. So this is an instance where you might want the gradient to be a bit shorter and a bit harsher to kind of highlight the edge. Actually, no, I think it would be the other way, wouldn't it? It'd be darker like that. Oh, it's tricky. It's tricky. You can kind of use the gradient for lighting and shadows, but you've got to get it in the right place. Yeah, see, that's too light there, so I think I'm going to have to extend this one. Maybe make it like a lot darker. That star as well. The star needs to be brighter, so let's maybe add another stop for the star, because that needs to literally leap out of the design. So maybe... Oh, it's so fiddly. Maybe something like that. And maybe I should push the purple down. I don't know. Again, it's like another style. You get so much culture from video games. First Red Dead, now COD. Hey there, don't get me started on Red Dead now. Come on, Dutch. Ugh. Hey, Sanjib. Gotta go. I got school in a few. Stay safe, everyone. Hey, catch you later, Alana. Make sure you send your mama that link. I'm joking. Is this the best way to learn Illustrator? Oh, you've set me up there, Kathleen, beautifully. Well, these streams are an excellent way to learn Illustrator and have a good time. But if you would like to learn everything I know about Illustrator and Photoshop from the ground up and learn essentially 20 years worth of experience condensed down into a single product, this might be for you.
With this ultimate course bundle, you'll gain the skills I've mastered over 2 decades as a professional designer.
Sorry, Abdul, I've turned it down a little bit. Is it quite loud? Sorry. Oh, I've just turned it down. Dan, even black background for icons would be great as well. Yeah, and I think with icon design, it's so easy as well to fall into the trap of doing them the same old style. Especially when you work on UI design projects, you know, because there's a lot of icons that are very recognizable. So it's like, you know, you got your home icon, your menu, hamburger icon, notification icon, which is a bell. And it's like, you got to be careful straying from these because they're things people recognize. But also you don't want to be boring. So it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to do my notification bell as a bell, that icon as a bell. How can I be creative within that? So people recognize it, but it's not just the same old, you know, you see this like just everywhere. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's a bell. Oh, notification. You know, it works. It's recognizable, but it's bloody boring just designing the same old. Oh, there's my icon. Okay, and I've got my... There's only so many ways you can do a flipping house. Do you know what I mean? Before it gets really repetitive. And it's easy to fall into that trap of just doing the same icons over and over again. And yeah, you could play around with some, you know, you could add little touches, you could add like a little highlight, you could add, you know, some varying stroke weight, the stuff that we've covered before to make it more interesting. But like, there's so many different styles that you could do. Even this one here, just pulling out one bit of the design with a color, or having a linear style, or a gradient, or slapping it in a squircle, or going, you know, almost a bit comic book style with the kind of having the line work, whether it's black or a color, mixing flat colors with gradients to kind of just create a bit of interest. You've got here for Pantones and spot color printing, that is a one color print. Or you've got, that needs a bit more work, but I like where this is going. And you've got this version here that's like a just full gradient, but with one sort of particular color theme. There is something else that I've got to show you if you wanted to add like another layer of deliciousness to your icons. Let's say I wanted to add a shadow under here for the box lid. One way that you could do this is if I move these elements out here, I'm going to copy them, paste them in place, hold shift and use that left arrow key to move it over here. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to work on it out here, and then I can shift it back into the same place afterwards. The courses are video, so they're video lessons. Yeah, no book. Oh, Poppy's already said that. Okay, right, so I'm going to draw where I want the shadow to go. So how would this look? How would it look, Dan? Probably start here and go down here and come up there, I reckon. That'll be the shadow. We're going to slap it in as blob. Actually, we're going to do it as a random color so we can see what we're doing. So the shadow is going to be yellow for now. And then what I want to do is I'm going to copy everything. No, I'm not. I'm going to copy just this shape here because this is where I want the shadow to appear on. I don't want it to appear on the kind of lid flap here, just the body of the box. So I'm going to copy that, select all of this, and then shape builder tool it. So I'm isolating just the shadow. Yeah, there we go. Let's get rid of that. So we're just moving around with the arrow keys. I'm going to paste in that part of the folder. But first of all, I'm going to apply a blur effect. So I'm actually going to blur this. If your blur looks crap like this, go to Effect and change this to 300 ppi. The blur in Illustrator is a raster effect in Photoshop. So it's not vector, but it can scale quite well. Better than some effects anyway. So now I'm going to pick a color. We could go black, but I'm going to pick, because I know the color of my icon, I'm going to go with a dark blue. That'll blend a little bit nicer. So we'll get the blur kind of where I want it, looking nice. There we go. I might even make it a bit bigger just so it does extend fully beyond the bounds. And just move it up here. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then grab the folder, send it to the top, and then I'm going to mask it with a clipping masker. There we go. So I've got just the shadow. I can stick it back in place. Hopefully that made sense. If it didn't, I could do a separate video on that. It wouldn't take me long to do that. The good thing about this is you can double click the clipping mask to go inside. And you've still got that there. You can adjust the blur value. So if you wanted to increase it a bit more soft, that looks better. And you can adjust the opacity. So start with a darkest shadow, the darkest shadow actually. Let's go in there and make it darker again. And did I do that or did I undo that? Make it super dark. And then the opacity is like the quick and easy way to just change it. So if I wanted to go for 60%, we could do that there. It is symmetrical, so in theory I can copy it with the reflect tool and paste it in exactly the same place. Yes, excellent. And it's a good way to add those subtle shadows that just kind of, I mean, it does look cool. You can use the gradients for shadows as well, but sometimes, you know, you're not going to get a gradient bend around that corner perfectly. So if you wanted to introduce shadows, that looks damn cool now. That does look cool. If you want to add shadows, that's how you can do it. Should I use Figma or Illustrator for UI design? Figma, 100%. I use Illustrator to design my icons, and then I would bring them into Figma because Illustrator's got more drawing and design tools for icons. You can do a lot of it in Figma, but not all of it. Especially if your icons are going to have more organic shapes. You know, I'm pretty sure Figma hasn't got a pencil tool that can let you draw splats and shapes. So it depends on the icons. But the process of copying from Illustrator to Figma is pretty smooth. It's pretty good. It flows quite nicely. So yeah, I would definitely do that. The main advantage Figma has is I feel like it's got a more streamlined UI and less features, so it's kind of easier to learn. But you can also do prototypes and mock-ups. So it's designed predominantly for UI design. So you can mock up a website or app and then actually send it to a client or a stakeholder or someone else on your team and get them to actually put it on their phone and tap through it, click through it, and kind of figure out the user journey before you get to adding design stuff. So you'd wireframe it, test it, see how it works and flows. My cake analogy is with UI design, wireframing, designing and prototyping. It's kind of like your wireframing is making sure the cake tastes good if you're making a cake. The design is the icing on the cake. So the design is obviously going to be important, but if the cake itself or the user experience is terrible, it doesn't matter how good the icing looks. If the cake is crap, people are going to remember that you made a crap cake that tasted awful. So that's why wireframing is very important for UI design and baking. Figma has some great beginner tutorials on the YouTube. I had to teach myself a few weeks ago for a project. Oh, nice. There you go. Tutorials at the ready. Right, 11:30. I've just realised I didn't get any popcorn. Did you give it to the boys?
I did.
Oh, Liam didn't reply on the message, so I'm guessing he's probably doing another session or something. So I could have got away with some popcorn then. Oh, that would have been so nice. We've got a bit of time now though. I could definitely do with a coffee and some fresh air.
The boys would like that.
On behalf of the
Boys
children,
would like fresh air.
they would like some freedom, please. The boys may run around for 5 minutes. Yeah, let's go and get some food. This cat. Oh, this cat is adorable. Can Figma tutorials be applied to Photoshop? No, totally different. You can use Photoshop for UI and web design, especially if you want to have more control over the brushwork and work in an environment where you can, as you probably saw with these, or hopefully you saw with these social graphics, you know, in Figma, I couldn't have brushed in all that retouching and effects. So that is why I would work in Photoshop for some things, because you can do all the text and the UI and typography, blah, 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 but you can also do effects and brushing. And if I need to make the text stand out, I can brush behind it. And that is one of the reasons why I like Photoshop for that kind of thing. Whereas you can't, you know, there's no brush tool in Figma where you can start brushing things in. Oh, right. We should probably go, shouldn't we? Oh!
Will you be streaming tomorrow?
Tomorrow. What is tomorrow? God, we've done 4 days this week.
That's amazing.
You lot must be sick of me by now. God.
Oh, I am.
Another another stream. It's quite easy doing these at home. I do like it because obviously there's a cat to play around with, and you know, all I need is a laptop and a microphone, really. A bit disappointing we haven't had any technical issues today. Those
you have one thing.
No, not really. Those are always quite fun, but things have actually gone quite smoothly today, which is a bit disappointing. Catch you later, Gaurav. Thank you for promoting my course to everyone. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's still time to bugger it up, I suppose.
Yeah, there is. If you do a stream on a logo design, happy to share mine, which I would love to tidy up.
Oh, yes. Send it on over, Elaine. Send it on over. Don't worry, I got you.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good logo. And I think the thing I mean, obviously I've not seen the design you're going to send me, but the thing I like about logos as well is sometimes it's more complicated, but sometimes it is just a case of, the creative idea is excellent. It's just the technical execution that needs tidying up a bit. And sometimes there's certain little things you can do that just are an absolute, quick win. You tweak this bit here, move that there, make that more consistent, and then boom, you've got something like super tight and polished, and it doesn't take a lot. Or with logo design, sometimes it's the process, and this is something that is in the Illustrator course, is designing with grids, guide systems, golden ratio stuff, just a different way of working. So when you kind of use the right tools and techniques to create the logo design digitally in something like Illustrator, oftentimes it's the wrong tools and techniques that will lead to like a lower quality end result. Whereas if you, just to give you an example, if you had like an isometric logo, you might try and just draw it manually with the pen tool. But actually, if you set up an isometric grid correctly, and then you kind of use the shape builder tool to create it like that, you could create it in a fraction of the time, and you know that everything is just going to be perfect. So it's usually the tools and the processes that actually, if you follow them correctly, will automatically improve the quality of your design work. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, hello@dansky.com, or you can DM me in the community, Elaine. Whichever's easier for you. Community, email. I was going to say I am everywhere. That was a bit Sauron, wasn't it? I see you. Oh, funny.
Link to the community as well.
Yes, if anyone hasn't signed up, you can join the community for free. And if you do decide to enroll in one of my courses, you do, of course, get eternal love and gratitude and support from me. Although cuddles cost extra.
Free cat cuddles.
Free cat cuddles, yes.
Crumble ski.
Oh, amazing. Right, it's been an absolute pleasure. Tomorrow, I don't know what is happening tomorrow. It would be nice to do another one. I'm always working on stuff, so it's kind of like, why not just show people what I'm doing? I've got my PT session in the morning, which is my final test.
Yeah, we've got the stream with the course members.
Oh yeah, we've got the course member stream tomorrow. Oh yeah, I might not do tomorrow, just so I can have some time to chill in between a brutal PT session and our meetup.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are a course member, I will send out the email to the Zoom meetup thing later today, and then that's going to be probably between 2 and 4.
Maybe Saturday when I'm at work.
What stream?
Yeah,
Maybe. I would like to see the children.
that's true.
Not for too long. Maybe 5 minutes. Right, kids, you got 5 minutes each.
Daddy.
And then it's back to you, back to the dungeon. Kids come out, sunlight. That's my boy. I never used a shape builder till I took this course a month ago. Now I use it almost every job I do. Yeah, Pathfinder and shape builder tool are amazing. they're so good, but they're both useful for different things. So you have to use them both, because the shape builder tool is like a scalpel and the Pathfinder tool is like a hammer. What's going on here? Do you know, that is a fantastic question. I have no idea. You've joined at the end of I think a very productive and educational stream. We're stream. It's only going to get worse from here. Yes. So yeah, we've got the meetup tomorrow. Course members, let me know what you want to do. If you want to we can do a design quiz. I'm more than happy to play Quizmaster and do a quiz, or we can do something teachy and designy and work on a design together. Whatever people want to do. Right, I'm going to shut up now because I will just keep talking forever. Do you use Figma for your designs? Sometimes UI design stuff, but not this. Anyway, if you want to sign up for my course, check out the Ultimate Bundle. Here is a trailer. Have an amazing day, and I will see the course member people tomorrow. Bye!
With this Ultimate Course Bundle, you'll gain the skills I've mastered over 2 decades as a professional designer.